Welcome back to part 2 of our Planning Priorities series on the Secure Act and preserving wealth from inherited retirement accounts by mitigating taxes. In our last episode, I discussed the options for beneficiaries who inherit IRAs or retirement plan assets in the post-stretch IRA world. If you didn't get a chance to watch part 1, you may want to go back and check it out as a refresher on the changes to the law. I'm K.C. Smith, Managing Associate with Henssler Financial. And in this segment, we're going to focus on strategies you can take as the account owner to ensure you maximize the value of your retirement account that goes to your eventual non-spouse heirs. A couple of key points to keep in mind for each of these strategies. Number 1, spouses can treat the inherited accounts as their own, and certain other eligible beneficiaries may still be able to use the old stretch rules. Number 2, almost all these options require consideration of not only your current and future tax rates, but also your beneficiary's tax situation. And number 3, the government can and probably will change the rules again at some point. When dealing with taxes and retirement account rules, the only constant is change. Be prepared to pivot to a new strategy if necessary. There are several considerations to make for retirement account owners, and the options are too numerous to cover fully in just one video. So I recommend speaking with your financial advisor about your specific situation. There's a reason we joke that these bills should be called the Full Employment Act for Tax and Financial Advisors. Probably the best post-mortem gift you could give to your heirs would be to convert all your pre-tax retirement money to Roth before your death, thereby prepaying the taxes so they don't have to. That isn't something we would necessarily recommend in your best interest. You could, however, consider strategically converting to Roth IRA in years where your income is lower. Post-retirement but pre-RMD is usually a great opportunity. Or with the suspension of RMDs in 2020 per the CARES Act, this could be a good opportunity to convert traditional IRA funds to Roth IRA if you're RMD age and don't otherwise need to spend the money. Another interesting strategy is to intentionally bypass the spouse as the primary beneficiary on a portion of the retirement account assets. By leaving a portion to the non-spouse heirs and the rest to the spouse, you effectively create two separate 10-year windows by which the heirs can draw on the assets. This is more beneficial as more time passes between the deaths of the first and second spouse. But if the eventual final beneficiaries are your kids anyway, at least this provides a greater likelihood of at least a partial extension of the 10-year distribution time horizon. If you're charitably inclined and have a relatively large retirement account, you can effectively replicate the old stretch IRA for your beneficiaries by gifting the retirement account to a charitable remainder trust at your death. These trusts can provide a specified amount of income to the primary trust beneficiary during his or her life, with the remainder passing to a qualified charity. Biggest drawback here, aside from the obvious cost and complexity to set up and administer the trust, is that the gift of the IRA to the trust is irrevocable, meaning the beneficiary doesn't have the ability to access more than the specified income from the trust if they need it. And you could possibly unintentionally disinherit your primary beneficiary's heirs if the primary beneficiary passes away prematurely. Other options to consider include naming additional beneficiaries to create multiple 10-year withdrawal windows. For example, adding your grandchildren in addition to your children as separate beneficiaries. You could consider purchasing life insurance using taxable distributions from retirement accounts to pay the premiums. There are plenty of other strategies that I didn't cover, but these are a few of the most popular that you should strongly consider reviewing with your financial advisor. What? You don't have one? Give me a call. I know a guy. The Secure Act could substantially impact your beneficiaries' after-tax inheritance, but having a solid plan in place, as always, can certainly help. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Planning Priorities. I'm Managing Associate K.C. Smith with Henssler Financial. Thanks for watching.